Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Sunday League Pundit Show with me, Stretch, my very good mate, Jim Jam, and that bellend over there that supports Leeds, Tin Ribs. I'd like to start this week by mentioning a little fact that I heard during the course of the week that Leicester are in a bit of financial trouble. But they've managed to sort of get away with it, legally speaking.
This year?
We say it's fishy. Now,
they say next year they might have a points deduction
if they stay in the Championship. Now, this is how it works, right?
If they get promoted.
I thought it was if they get promoted because
they'd rather take it when they get.
No, I thought the infringement was in the Premier League, and because the Premier League is its own governing body.
No, the reason it's not been. This is what I've heard.
Okay.
The reason it hasn't been hit this season is because teams in the Championship have to produce their financial statements by March. It's either mid-March or the end of March. At which point last season, Leicester still had a chance of staying in the Premier League. You're not going to prepare a report for the Championship when you've got a chance of staying in the Premier League. That's how they've avoided it this season, because they didn't prepare their finances for the Championship this season, because they still got that chance of staying up. Now, they were hoping to get to a point where they were already promoted by March this season, so they didn't have to prepare one for them next season as well.
Yeah, but if you listen to the pundits in December, they'd already won the league by that point.
Which is why they were probably hoping they were going to get away with it. And that's what I've heard as to how they're going to try and get away with it. I thought it was very interesting and very sly all at the same time.
Who knows what goes on?
So, Jim Jam, the stat man, do you have a stat for us?
Of course I do.
Wonderful.
Unfortunately, I lost one stat just a moment ago.
That's gutting.
Unlucky.
For those that are interested, Man City hadn't conceded a goal between after half-time and the 60th minute in the Premier League all season until they decided to give Liverpool a penalty, or the ref gave Liverpool a penalty. Or the ref.
I mean, they tried to get about 7 in that second half, so the fact that they only got 1,
but
so you're quite lucky,
anyway,
really.
That's not the stat anymore and never will be. Gone.
So, is dead.
Record-breaking season again for more goals. And that is goals that have been scored in 90-plus minutes, which now stands at 88, which is a Premier League record. So that's only going to keep getting higher.
It'll get even higher.
There is one team in the Premier League that has not conceded a goal yet in 90-plus minutes, and that team is...
There's a team that are yet to concede after the 90th minute?
Yes.
Is there actually? That's
yes,
shocking.
there is. There is one team left that has not conceded.
What I'm telling you now, upsettingly, it's not us.
Is it going to be Man United?
No.
No, it's going to be scumbag Liverpool, isn't it?
It's you.
It's
Arsenal.
Us. Is it actually?
You've not conceded in the last minute of it, in the added-on minutes in a game. Yeah.
No, sure. Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Wow.
There are a couple teams that have not conceded in added time in the 45th minute, just before half-time. That certainly is an Arsenal, which we're going to talk about shortly. But yeah, so that's my stat. There we go.
Wow.
So when it comes to added on time, Arsenal, you're pretty sound defensively when it comes to the end of the game.
And that will take us to the break. Play the music. Well, welcome to episode 20, Sunday League Pundits Show, episode 20, and I'm still enjoying it. Who'd have thought? It's actually we're recording this today on Mother's Day because we're that kind of people. We didn't want to let anyone down. We wanted to make sure that we were still recording every week and that we'd still got something to put out, even though it is absolute garbage generally that we spout. But we thought, we're going to have to go through it and take the hit, and our other halves and kids are just going to have to sit and wait for us for an hour or two, or however long it's going to take us this week to record it.
They've been looked after throughout the day.
Of course they have.
And this is now evening
apart
time.
from my lady, who's been sat studying all day. So she's had quite a stressful day.
Did you give her peace and quiet?
I did.
There you go. You've done your bit.
She's still stressed out. So, yeah. Thoughts on the week?
I'm happy.
You're happy. The Leeds fan is happy.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, you won. You won. You didn't get 3 points in the predictions.
Well,
game,
actually,
which
to
we'll
be
talk
fair,
about shortly.
I was more happy with the Stoke win than I was with the Sheffield Wednesday win, because for the first half, first 45, 50 minutes, a little bit into the second half, Stoke didn't look like they wanted it at all, but they came back out and they really pushed us. And I'd probably say it's the hardest home game we've had all season.
Yeah. Well, I watched a bit of the first 10 minutes or so. Leeds had a couple, but then Stoke in the first 10 minutes did go at it a little bit, or Leeds weren't going at them as much. But as soon as you got
Once we
going, it was
started
like,
going,
wow, the onslaught, and then you'd scored the goal.
I thought that was the floodgates opening, but no, fair play to Stoke, they dug in.
I think could have had a penalty for Leeds, Iverson on Dan James in the first.
Yeah.
You see him give him, you see him not. You don't see that many angles in the Championship midweek game.
One of those, I was surprised that we didn't get it, but because of how we were playing, it was sort of like,
it doesn't matter.
It's not going to matter. We're still going to score 4 or 5. So the fact that we didn't was quite a worrying. And like I say, Stoke really did. And Fark actually came out and said that was the best win we've had at home because of how hard we had to fight for it. Which was actually
somewhat because you've had a few sort of not easy wins at home. So
I mean, Stoke went away and they beat Preston.
Yeah,
which is a good result for them.
I imagine you were both quite pleased about that.
Don't make a difference.
No, it makes no
Preston
difference.
makes no difference.
It makes absolutely. Oh. There's only 2 teams that I care about at this moment.
The only reason I mentioned Preston is the fact that we were supposed to play Preston, but somebody started a fire next to the stadium.
That looked pretty rough. That did.
Pretty rough. I mean, it's still going on at the moment, so the fire brigades are still there, obviously, because obviously the heat's all still there.
Jesus.
So obviously our game at the weekend could go ahead, so that was the main thing. And nobody got hurt. From what I can tell, nobody got hurt. So that's the
bonus. That's it. The only downside for you now is really that you're going to have this congestion of games. I mean, we played 3 in 7 this week.
Yeah,
and that's a lot when you think about it. Your Premier League boys will never experience that, but you get time off and game congestion, but you play less games and you don't play 3 games in a week. So but you've now got the Leicester game,
which has been postponed. It should be this Friday, which has been postponed,
and then
which has got a new date in April. We've obviously got to play the Preston game at some point again.
So they got to crowbar these into a very heavy schedule. I'm wondering how that's going to. I mean, I think you're already nailed in.
You know how it's going to go. It's going to go a game every 3 days again, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're crowbar.
I mean, we already know that it's going to be very hard for us. I mean, Leeds are looking like they're probably going to win the league if Leicester keeps slipping up.
You can take that cheesy grin off.
Leicester may or may not get second if they can continue to keep faltering. Ipswich may or may not get in second if they keep winning. I think we potentially have a big say on who's going to be the top 2, and because we'll be the ones going up, because we'll be in the playoffs. But the fact that we've still got to play Leeds, Leicester, Ipswich.
You say that, but it depends, because if Leicester and Ipswich keep going the way they're going, it will be you 2 going up.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind, if Leicester and Ipswich don't pick it up,
if we keep on the form,
you 2 are going to be the 2 that auto.
If we are on the form we're on, and it doesn't look like we're slowing, I honestly, like I said the other day, what pissed me off, and obviously if you go back through all our podcasts, I have stated that it's pissed me off that in December, all the pundits were banging on about Leicester had already won the league, Leicester have done this, Leicester have done that. And now all of a sudden...
I think he has mentioned
hang on.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, I just want to point out, not only on the first podcast did I say that I could see us winning the league, which everybody wrote me off immediately. On Sunday, if we beat Millwall by 2 or more goals, we go top of the fucking league.
That is true.
You can't argue with it.
So,
logic.
Again, this brings up the Leicester might have a game in hand, but points on the board matter more than games in hand.
And who's their game in hand against?
You.
That's
So
their
you
game
could
in
potentially help them.
Yeah.
To go
And
to stay
yourselves.
top.
Yeah.
It's in our hands because we've got to play all three of them. We have a big say on who's going to go up. And like I say, at the moment, it doesn't look like it's us. I mean, we've been written off now at the moment, so to speak. The league table started showing first, second, third. A lot of them are not even showing fourth now. But they did that
I've got a feeling.
But they did do that
right?
with Leeds. They did do that with Leeds a while ago when they were 17 points behind.
I've got a feeling on this podcast that when Leeds play Saints, if it's not a draw, the loser is going to be like, I've got something on this week. I can't make it.
No?
I don't think it will really matter. I mean, we're going to Ellen Road and we're surely going to be the underdogs for that game, depending on the stakes.
Yeah.
If Leeds have already won the league,
like how long
and
is
we
it until
need
you
to
play?
win the game.
End of the season.
Last
The
game.
last
It's the last
game.
You have
It is
told
the
me
last
before.
game. Leeds could have already won the league by then, which could mean
Yeah.
that we might need to win that game to get second or whatever position we're going to finish in the playoffs. It might not matter. If we're guaranteed fourth spot, say, and we can't get third, or we've guaranteed third, we can't get second, I can't see us playing a decent team against Leeds because we're going to have a playoff game in less than a week's
Just
time.
going on when he said they started focusing on top three and that Southampton fan put, it's Leeds are gone now. At the end of December, and this was the league sent to you, we were sat fourth with 45 points, right? Leicester were running away with the league that they'd already won on 62 points. They were 8 points ahead of Ipswich, right? 11 points ahead of Southampton. At the state of play right now, they're 3 points ahead of us. They're
They've only got 20 points in that time, aren't they?
4 points ahead of Ipswich, right? And they're only 9 points ahead of Southampton. That's the state of play. So in 2 months...
I mean, it's not looking great, is it really?
No, but in 2 months, they have squandered that lead.
But I feel their pain because Arsenal did that last season.
We can potentially play our game, catch 3 points on Leicester. We can beat them. We can gain another 3 points on them. We play Ipswich, so Ipswich is in our hands at the moment. Leicester have got to lose somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Leicester have got to lose somewhere, but Ipswich...
I mean, the thing is they might not be winning that many.
If we win every game, we can take Ipswich because we play them and we've got to win a games in hand. But like I say, I'd rather have points on the board than the games in hand to get there. Because obviously our games in hand went terribly wrong, which is why we're now looking destined for playoffs. And we're not playing that. We're not playing the same football,
I'll be honest,
as we were. We're not as clinical as before. Defensively, we're letting in goals. It's just
play a lot of games in the Championship, though.
We do.
Got to go easy on them a little bit. Jesus.
No.
I mean, that's a lot of football. No. It's a lot of football, though.
It is.
It's a lot of football in the Championship, to be fair.
It is.
But I love it.
Especially as you went further than us in the FA Cup.
I love it. What a league, though. So much better.
Yeah, I mean, again, VAR today, which no doubt at some point we'll get into, and the state of refereeing in particular is just absolutely shocking. So I can well imagine you would rather stay in the Championship.
I mean, we had a dodgy goal as well. It would have got chalked off VAR. Our penalty.
We say it would have got chalked off, but there's no guarantee that it would. It might have been if they'd have shown a set of bollocks and actually done the right thing. But
he kicked the ball twice. Armstrong kicked the ball twice to put it in the net. It don't matter. Went in.
Yeah, it's one of them. It counted, so it's counted, and that's it. So it is what it is, isn't it? So, right, what we'll do then is, as we've spoken about them a bit, we'll go through a little bit of our predictions game. So basically what we had was Sheffield Wednesday versus Leeds, which was 2-0 to Leeds. And Darryl got 3 points because he said 2-0 Leeds. Everybody else was some variation of 1-0, 3-0 or 2-1.
I'm guessing I was 3-0.
You were 3-0, yeah,
As
shockingly.
always.
Who'd have thought? So yeah, Darryl got 3 points, everybody else got 1.
Yeah.
Then we'd got Saints v Sunderland, which ended 4-2. Surprisingly, nobody got it, although Max was close. He said you'd win 3-2.
I was close at one point.
You were close at one point because you said 2-2, so you don't get a point at all.
No.
Tinrib said it'd be 1-1, so you don't get a point. J 2-1, me 2-1, Darryl 3-1.
I won't
So
lie.
we'll
I
get a point.
thought Sunderland had put up a better fight, but they have just literally looked garbage lately.
And I'll be honest with you, boys, we've been shite this week because Arsenal 2, Brentford 1 is how it finished. We were lucky to get the 2-1.
You were?
And I don't know if you've heard last week's pod. I'm waiting for whether you have or not.
No.
Haven't. What a scumbag. Not in it, hasn't even bothered listening to it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about 18 minutes in.
You know what? I'm going to say that, you know when they say you should do your research and your homework, I'm sure that should be part of it.
It should.
The thing is, he walks to work, he could have it on his headset.
No, I haven't. I've not been very well. I've been in the car.
In 2 days, he could have heard this and got it all through.
No.
I'm very upset.
I'm 18 minutes in.
Right. So he's 18 minutes in to a podcast that he should be au fait with. Now, we had a conversation about shopping, if you remember rightly.
Shopping?
Do you know what we're on about?
No, not a clue.
Not a clue. What's the scumbag? Yeah. Right. So we had a conversation about the person that scored the winning goal and shopping. And I've picked the item up now. I'll enlighten you, as you didn't bother to listen to us last week. I'm very upset about that. Can you tell?
I know, yeah.
We had a conversation, and I said to him, do you remember how I said I'm not buying Kai Havertz? I said to him last week, well, I'm in the shop now. I've got to a point where I'm in the shop, and I'm having a look. Now I'm at a point where I've picked him up, and I'm having a nose. I'm sort of...
Is he near the basket yet? That's the question.
Not yet. But okay. I'm in and I'm having a browse. Right?
For that game, he should not have been on the pitch.
He should have been sent off for his second yellow card for diving.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll hold my hands up, and he probably should have been booked for
diving. Yeah, but no one gets done for diving.
And this is what I was just about to say, is nobody gets booked for diving anymore, because Liverpool would have probably been down to 6 men against City just, because they did nothing but bloody dive. But Havertz is not the meme he was at Chelsea, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And he's certainly working harder in an Arsenal shirt, and he's giving more in an Arsenal shirt. So, although I'm not completely sold on him just yet, I'm there or thereabouts, and I'm starting to change my mind. And I'll be honest.
Are you singing the song then?
No.
Not yet.
I'll be honest, it's not very often I change my mind on footballers, as he will rightly tell you when it comes to Adebayor. And everyone's singing his name, and I hated him from day one. And even you, to begin with, you're like, I don't understand it. He's just joined. I'm like, I don't know, just don't like him. I don't even know what it is. I just don't like the guy. But yeah, normally when I hate somebody, I hate them, and that's it. But Kai Havertz is the first one. He seemed. I'm changing my mind.
You're quite happy with him playing.
I don't kick off when he's in the starting lineup now, and I'm like, okay, he does a job now, and I can see what he's doing now on the pitch, whereas I couldn't before. I couldn't see it when he first joined us. I'm like, he's lazy. He's not doing what he's meant to be doing. He's fluffing easy chances, which, to be fair, he still fluffed a couple of easy chances, even in the last game. But he did score the winner, and he does pop up more often for us with a goal than he did for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I'm there.
To be fair, though, you were very quiet on the socials this week. No moaning, because Raya wasn't in there.
Yeah, Raya wasn't in there. And Ramsdale sadly let me down quite badly. But the only thing I'll say is I can't defend the error, because he didn't have to kick it out. He could have dragged it back and moved, because Witter was on the dive anyway. So if you'd have just put your foot on top of that and dragged it back, he's gone past. You've got the ball.
He didn't know he was there.
I don't know. I won't lie.
He had no idea he was
I'm not sure he did for a long time.
That back pass comes badly. It's passed right across his face. as he stepped out, he's on top of him. It's a clanger in the sense that
Did you watch the game or highlights?
I watched the highlights.
Highlights. You watched the game.
I watched the whole game.
So I can talk to you about something you may have seen, you may not. I haven't seen the highlights.
For the goal, I'm not, as much as it is a clanger, I don't think Ramsdale did much wrong. The problem you've got is he's took the ball out onto his favourable foot, which everybody does.
Oh, yeah.
And he's literally took a step and kicked it. There's not much more he could have done.
Oh, he didn't dally on it.
The pass back is what screwed it over.
Mm.
And don't get me wrong, I don't know, I can't remember the striker's name, but he's read that pass brilliantly.
Wisser.
He's read that brilliantly.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, he's on that so fast.
He was like a whippet, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he's in there. So to be fair, as much as people are saying, "Oh, Ramsdale fucked up," he didn't. There wasn't really much he could do.
He didn't know he was there. He was on him like a flash.
To be fair as
he
well.
went to kick it. He just unfortunately for him, the people watching the game to say he didn't make an error, he would have had to have played that pass first time, but he would have, which he could have done, but he would not. But he would have had to have known that Wisser was on him. Now
Wisser was on him
now,
so quick.
And now, who shouted "man on"? Because if somebody, because surely whoever played the back pass, was it Saliba or Gabriel, whichever one it was, it doesn't matter because I don't think the pass was that bad.
It was okay.
It was fine. But that player there should have seen Wisser running at him as the ball's going, because he's already chasing him down before he's kicked the ball, and he should be yelling at him, "Man on!" So he gets rid of that ball instantly, or he knows that he's going to be on him.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Ramsdale's looking for his next pass over there, so he can't see the player.
To be fair as well, there's not many strikers that will close a keeper down at that pace.
I'm not, like I say, he was on top of him so quick.
Odegaard closes down quick, but not at the pace that Wisser sprinted.
So before we move on, I will say that at half time, Ramsdale looks a broken man. He is being destroyed by Arteta. He looks like he's in tears. He looks like that he's absolutely terrified of the situation.
What was the European game where the same thing? He made a bit of a howler because obviously he's out of practice. He hasn't got match sharpness. Made a bit of a howler, but then he had a blinding second half and he came out better. There was one. Yeah. Well, what was that? Champions League game.
What game it was.
But same thing. He looked deflated. He looks defeated, and it's just. I don't know.
And there you go. And
he
did a semicircle. He did a semicircle as everybody was grouped in. And Ramsdale was not in that circle. He actually stood outside the circle like he was not part of that team.
Doesn't feel part
and it was he looked broken. And I mean,
I'm not going to lie.
Some of the saves he made in that second half were superb.
This is what I want to get onto. There's two saves in particular, and you know the two I'm on about.
Yeah, I think there's two
saves.
The lob.
There's two saves in particular.
Yeah,
which I guarantee would have gone in if it was David Raya.
Is it the long range where he shuffles back and palms it away?
That's one.
And I can't remember if it was a header or a volley within the back. It's a header, isn't it? It's like really close, and he tips it out. He through reaches back.
Raya would not have got either one of them because on the header he'd have come out and flapped at it like he did against Luton, and for the one where he come and tipped it back over while he was backtracking, he was close enough to his line to backtrack to get it. Raya wouldn't have been the same way he wasn't at Chelsea or at Newcastle or at Porto.
I would disagree.
Any more examples of where Raya
I'm going to have one disagreement. Ramsdale and Raya had the same starting point just outside the 18-yard box. However, Ramsdale tracked back quicker. Raya's tracking back. Like he's
Ramsdale's a shot stopper.
Yeah, but Raya's tracking back is slow.
Shocking.
But they kept fouling Ramsdale as well because his distribution out, his throw, and Arsenal could have got on the attack so many times because he threw it out, and the amount of times Arsenal threw on goal after it.
Nobody mentioned that after the game.
No, of course I don't.
No,
but it's like I actually upset some Arsenal fans for you. Someone put up a whole thing about like on an Arsenal fan page, and he was like, "Oh, he doesn't fit into Arteta's, and this is why." And I literally put, as a non-Arsenal fan, if you think Raya is your number one keeper, you're an idiot. And I hope that he does go somewhere else and bite you on the ass. And if it wasn't for the fact that Meslier has literally become an absolute demon in goal, I would have Ramsdale at Leeds any day.
So
Absolutely tear your hand off.
Raya. So in the game, but his last game, accurate long balls 17%, so 1 out of 6. He only played, and then he made 21 out of 26 accurate passes, so 81% distribution from the back, where he's acting as a sweeper, and he had to make no saves in that game. No saves. And he managed to obtain himself a 7.3 rating, despite the fact that he didn't even have to make a save. Now, that's against Sheffield United.
He got a what rating?
A 7.3 rating, even though he didn't have to make a save.
Hang on.
17%.
17% long ball accuracy.
And 81% short.
And did not make a save, and he got a 7.3.
I've never seen that before in my life.
So
you see how stats can be made.
So here we go. So we've got more season stats. So obviously in the Premier League this season, he's kept 8 clean sheets. But he's faced 2 penalties, conceded 1, saved 1. Errors leading to goal is 2. He's acted as a foul. But his pass accuracy this season, 71.6%.
When you don't be looking like that when you consider 90%. Hang on, when you consider 90% of keepers' passes are fucking 3 yards left of you to your fullback, you can't look at that as though, oh, that 71% is not bad. Fucking shocking, absolutely abysmal. Anybody else on the pitch and you'd be calling for their head.
Its long ball accuracy is 32.5% this season.
Just embarrassing it. We signed him, may I add, for his distribution ability. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Can you screenshot that and send it in?
I've got all the screenshots here, which is where I'm getting the data. So his save percentage is 64.7%. And
I bet that's lowest.
Third worst. There's only Wes Fodrington of Sheffield United and Mark Flecken.
Sorry, can we go back to the pass accuracy and long ball accuracy, please?
Yeah.
Long ball was 17%.
That was just in the one game against Sheffield United.
No, it's seasonal.
Seasonal was 32.5%.
And pass accuracy overall?
71.6.
And his save percentage?
64.7.
So
he's obviously, he might have played another game since then.
No, I'm going on Meslier here now. I don't think many Leeds fans or anyone who's ever watched Meslier will argue this. He got absolutely slated for his ball distribution.
I remember that.
And it has improved, but it's not great.
So you don't see him as a great distributor of a football?
He's a decent. He's a decent distributor. He's not a.
But you don't see him as a great distributor.
He's certainly no fucking Edison.
Okay.
So his save percentage is 72.2%.
Right, so 8% better than our amazing David Raya.
His pass accuracy is 79.8%.
Which is 8% better than David Raya.
And his long ball is 30.5.
Which is roughly the same. So
a goalkeeper who isn't...
Has it got Ramsdale's on there?
No, because he hadn't played enough games. So, David Raya, you know how many shots he's actually had to face?
64%. 21.
No, he's had to make 51 saves he's had to make that have been shots on target this season. Arsenal have only conceded 51 shots on target.
51 shots on target.
And he's only made 32 saves all season. Which there's only one goalkeeper that has made less saves, which is Bart Verbruggen, who was Brighton, I think, off the top of my head. It doesn't have the stats here, but that's 16 games he's played. Raya's played 19, so he's had 3 more games. So yeah, so does he save many? No, not really.
So I made this point though the other week.
Yeah.
So I've got Edison's stats.
Okay.
So
I've got Edison on here as
well.
well.
Save percentage is only 65.8, which does surprise me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. You know, that does surprise me a little bit. But never mind.
Again, wasn't bought to be a goalkeeper. Was bought
pass accuracy 85.1%. Long ball 56.7.
Now that's good because most of the time you're hoofing it into the direction of others.
25% better than David Raya.
That's a goalkeeper that you bring in for distribution.
You know who's got the best save percentage, though, this season?
I'm going to go with Pope.
He's high, but he's been injured a lot, hasn't he? But he's 73.6, but it's actually Areola of West Ham.
To be fair, he's actually
a
very
good
good.
goalkeeper.
But that's because he's had to face
1,000 shots.
140 shots on target, and the only keeper that's had to face more shots is Kaminsky.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. The problem with looking at percentages,
and that's Luton's
is
goalkeeper,
the fact that you could have a low percentage because you faced so many, but have a high percentage because you faced so few.
I think you mean that the other way around.
No, because Alisson's second, but he's had to face 73 shots, so he's faced half the shots.
Yeah.
So they've got pretty much the save percentage, but Alisson's had to face half the shots that Areola has.
One of the reasons Ederson's shot count might be so low is the defence in front of him until today is really good. So the only kind of shots that are going to go on target are the ones that are screaming into the top bins, or they're a point blank header. So the only shots he's really going to save are the ones that are literally world-class shots. Because 9 times out of 10, a shot that's coming through has to make... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's going to concede fewer shots. But then how many of those shots are exceptional shots?
And that's
but
the thing is,
you think the good keepers, where they come from? So you mentioned Nick Pope. Where was he playing before? Burnley.
Yeah.
How many shots did Burnley have to face? Why was he found a good keeper? Because he had to find out. Jordan Pickford. Where was he at before Everton? I mean, Everton were better when they signed him, granted. But he was at Sunderland, and Sunderland had to face a shit load of shots.
Look at when Joe Hart broke into the Birmingham City side on loan and then won all the stats, like the youngest goalkeeper to get 10 clean sheets and blah, blah, blah. And then he won Keeper of the Season that year, Joe Hart. He was at Birmingham.
Crazy.
Same with... and then
Kasper Schmeichel, Leicester were near the relegation team the season before, and he had to face a load of shots, so it's no wonder improve the defence in front of it. You're going to get
Meslier with Leeds in the first Premier League season. He set all the records for the youngest goalkeeper to get, because we had to face so many damn shots.
Yeah, it's true.
So stats do lie, but when you talk about pass percentages, you look at what a goalkeeper does. They're damning stats.
That's what makes Rise so disappointing.
But that's what I'm saying. They're the damning stats. They're the ones
he's not facing any shots and he's conceding half of them.
And this is the exact point I made, wasn't it?
So is he a good keeper? He would have faced a hell of a lot more shots at Brentford, and his save percentage was probably higher. Because he probably faced a hell of a lot more shots at Brentford than he does
so
Arsenal.
The chances are a lot of the shots that he faced were going to be crap because people were just shooting for the sake of shooting because they could, because they were playing, a lesser team.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry if Brentford think that me calling them a lesser team is offensive. I couldn't give a shit.
No, what was funny though, I saw a chant the other day that even Haaland thought was funny when he got chanted off going, "You're just a shit Ivan Toney." and even Haaland went off the pitch laughing.
I would like to point out, right, that Arsenal fans, when we scored 5 in the last few games, at the point we've scored our 5th, and it's usually been our 5th goal scorer, the fans have started singing,
"Who put the ball in the opposition net?"
Who put the ball in the opposition net? Half the fucking team did.
Yeah.
Because 5 is almost half of 11. And if you take the keeper out, who's less likely to score, 5 is half of your team. So then when we score 6, we sing the same chant. I'd like to point out today, Tottenham think that they've got 8 players. Because they started chanting that when they went 4-0 up in the 90th minute. Who put the ball in the opposition net?
Because Tottenham, all they do is steal other teams' songs. Because they can't come up with their own songs.
It's not just that. It's the fact that they've stolen that particular chant over the last 3 or 4 weeks from their bitter rivals, who apparently don't want to be like, because we're shite, according to most Tottenham fans, which is fucking laughable. Because when we were shite, between 2010 and 2020, we won 4 FA Cups. Or community shields.
Yeah,
that's when we were shit.
Yes, but that's where the intellectual level comes in. They think that 4 is half their team, and they think they're a big club that doesn't win anything.
It's mad, isn't it?
I mean, he did play well in that second half.
They were superb in that second half. Maddison ran the show. Mate, honestly, if you give me right now Declan Rice, Bellingham, Maddison, Foden, Kane, and Saka, there's no fucking reason not to win the next tournament that we're in.
Yeah, there is.
I don't even give a shit who's in defence.
I know. Because he won't play his best team.
I said to Zach, when you've got Declan Rice, Bellingham, Maddison, Foden, Saka, and Kane playing the way they are right now, he should not be sacked if he doesn't win the next tournament.
But you know what the problem is?
He should be arrested and locked up.
You know why? Because he's going to play fucking Jordan Henderson at fucking CDM.
You know he is.
You know what makes me laugh, though?
And he shouldn't be anywhere near the team.
You know when we sort of
he shouldn't be anywhere near this fucking country anymore.
He's not. He's smoking his whatever in Holland now.
Ooh, that's a bit of a...
But you know when...
you should say allegedly, or you're sued.
Allegedly.
Yeah, you're going to get sued. But you know what makes me laugh? When you see like these comments, like they put out the best England team, and people are saying, what's stopping this team win the league, win the Euros? Literally, as you go through the chat, it's just everyone going, Southgate, Henderson, Southgate. Yeah, hilarious.
And that is your problem when the entire country know the problem. What are your FA doing?
Saving money by not bringing someone decent in.
Who do you think should be the next England manager?
How?
Can't really argue with that one.
Okay. I am still upset that Allardyce is not England manager because I think he would have done a fantastic job of being England manager. And I am genuinely still upset that he didn't get the chance that he'd earned.
He's got is it a 100% win record?
He's the only manager with a 100% win record. Played 1-1-1. So I'm still salty that Allardyce is not England manager.
Harry would have done an all right job.
Right. Do you know who I'd like to see as England manager just for the interviews?
Mike Bassett.
Warnock. Can you imagine Warnock managing England and getting a crappy decision against his team? The interview alone would be golden.
Yeah.
Golden. I love Warnock.
I just love Warnock.
Do you know who else I'd love to see as England manager just for the interviews? Holloway.
Ian Holloway was
the
amazing.
Guy's out of his mind, but he does make me laugh.
Him as assistant.
Oh, mate, can you imagine? Because they both come out and get interviewed. That would be genius. I'd pay to watch that just for the... I wouldn't even care about the game. Just give me the interviews with Warnock and Ian Holloway. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? It'd be absolute gold. They could set that up as a comedy skit, and I reckon it would be popular.
You know what?
But for me, Eddie Howe.
You know what's weird, though? That, like, when England play, we're not even going to put Declan Rice in the position he plays for Arsenal, really. Because we're going to play him for deeper. Because we have to, because you've got to give Bellingham the freedom to do whatever he wants to do.
How can you not?
Because he said, why is Bellingham so good for Real Madrid? And it's because all he just wants the ball. He just wants to play football. And I think it's Ancelotti at Real Madrid. He just goes, do what you want, have that free roll, what you want.
I would like to go into a bit of that in the second half, if I may. There's a couple of games that I'd like to talk to you about. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a quick break now. And we shall see you very shortly. Hello and welcome back from the break. Not a very long break that time. Now we said at the end of part one that there's a couple of games that I'd like to go into. And the first one being Jude Bellingham, which is Valencia versus Real Madrid, which ended 2-2. Now,
controversial.
My understanding is the ref can blow his whistle whenever he sees fit at the end of the game. My other understanding is it's widely known, certainly in this country, that it is an unwritten rule that you allow an attacking team to finish an attack before you blow for full whistle.
Yeah.
Now, when you're going to blow for the full-time whistle, as a ball is crossed into the box, to me, that's a bit out of order.
Yeah.
So due to then reaction, don't get me wrong, it's wrong, but it's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Given the timing of the full-time whistle. Have you seen it, Tim Ribs?
No.
Right, the ref blows the whistle
As the ball's
as
in
the
the
guy
box.
crosses the ball into the box. Jude then heads it into the goal, celebrates,
Gets
then
sent off.
realises that it's been crossed out because the refs ended the game, and the entire Madrid team, backstreet staff, everything just go nuts. But I think
Two of them got a red card.
I think
Bellingham
two of them got sent
and
off. One
is
of
it the manager or something? Or
I don't think it was the
backroom
manager. I think he was one of the coaches when
Yeah.
he came out and kicked off. Now, for me, as far as I'm aware in the rules, the ref can blow the whistle whenever he likes, when he thinks the game's ended. But it's an unwritten rule. If somebody is on the attack, you let that finish before you blow the whistle.
Yeah.
How do you two see that?
Well, yeah, they should finish the attacking phase. Otherwise, you might as well just blow the whistle as soon as the actual time's up, no matter where it's at, and go, right, game over. Beep. I kind of I'd quite like it in like the rugby scenario where time's up and once the ball goes out of play or it ends, that's it, done.
Yeah,
Game done. Because then you'd have one team trying to keep the ball in if they're trying to chase the game, and the other team trying to get the ball out. But obviously, if you commit a foul, it stays in.
I'm going to word it like this,
because obviously
that wouldn't work with football. Because let's be honest, it's a lot fucking easier to just lash it out into the crowd or pat it out into the crowd than in football than it is in rugby.
Yeah.
So for me, I get what you're saying, and I think it's a good idea, but it just. The second you go over that time, you just boot it out.
It would not have the same effect. No. Because obviously England beat Ireland.
Yeah, but if your keeper's got the ball in his hands, that your keeper's winning, he's just going to hoof it into the crowd.
Well, that's it, yeah. So he catches it, goes down, wastes a little bit of time, stands up, boots into the crowd, game.
Yeah, done.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think that rule would work. But I do think the referee should allow a little bit of discretion in allowing the attacking team to finish their
but the
attack.
referee blow the whistle anyway as soon as he kicks the ball up the field if the time was up anyway.
I just want to say that. How much shit did the Real Madrid players give the ref during the game?
Oh, I don't know that. I've only seen
because that'd be
few minutes.
Right. You pricks are giving me loads of fucking shit now. Fuck off.
That would be out of order.
Yeah.
That'd be massively out of order.
No, but that might, at the end of the day, these players gob off constantly, and even though they're supposed to get booked, saw it today multiple times.
Right, time up.
Yeah, you know what? Time's up. Don't give a fuck.
I do think that's a bit shitty, though. For me, that's out of order.
I think it's out of order, and I do think that I'll use the term that they like to use, phase of play. I think you should not blow the whistle during a phase of play that could lead to a goal.
Yeah. But it's how long does a phase of play take? Because if they just
but it's obvious though, isn't it? Because if you then if you're at the byline like he was at the byline and swung it in. Now if he's at the byline and plays it back 10 yards, you just go, right, okay, fair enough. You have the chance to swing it in and you didn't.
A lot of the time, if that cross had gone in England and it went out for a corner, the ref may even give the corner.
Oh yeah, and allow it.
But as soon as that ball's headed away or cleared away, done.
End of story. But you don't do it as it's coming in like that. Not for me. Well out of order, and I can understand their annoyance.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and it's something that I wanted to talk about. So I wanted your two opinions on it. Now, City played Luton and beat them 6-2. In which Haaland scored 5 and De Bruyne had 4 assists. Now, for me, them two are just ridiculous.
And that was the first 4 goals as well. The first 4 goals and the first 4 assists were all De Bruyne and Haaland.
Yeah,
and the odds on that must have been great if you were betting.
Imagine putting a 5 on that. But yeah, them two. I mean, today, admittedly, they were pretty terrible. And De Bruyne in particular, for being one of the best players on the planet, had a shocking game today.
It was good in the first half. He had attacks. His corner ball was excellent for Stones' goal.
He was all right in the first half. I wouldn't say he was amazing.
No.
But certainly in the second half, just dreadful. But yeah, in that particular game,
Man City were dreadful.
Yeah, they were.
Which is why I think that Man City, they're going to lose games this season. And I know you said you wanted Arsenal, you wanted the 1-1, you got the result you wanted.
I wanted the 1-1 because it makes it better for Arsenal now.
And I think it's good because I don't see where Liverpool lose a game between now and the end of the season, and it's going to be goal difference.
They
now.
Scraped past Nottingham Forest because the referee gave the ball to the wrong team.
Yes, but
so that could happen again.
But allegedly VAR and the Premiership want Liverpool to win the league, so they're going to keep getting decisions their way. And I don't see with Liverpool's running now. That's it now. That's it. They've got Tottenham. That's it. And then all the rest of the games are very much.
Could come out and have a great game.
They could do, but Tottenham also play Man City. They also play Arsenal, and they say that Tottenham have a big impact on how the title race is going to go. And I just saw it. The only result that you did not want today was Liverpool winning, because I think if Liverpool had won that game today, they would probably be favourites to win the league.
I would have to agree with you. So
I get what you're saying about Man City. They don't lose in this one, and they probably won't lose in this period. But they're a weaker team than they have been in previous years.
The thing is you say City won't lose, but Arsenal beat City last time we played them. And honestly, we are one of the few teams that have actually played City off the park.
Yeah.
And the way Arsenal are actually playing football at the minute, I could see that happening again.
So if the City had beaten Liverpool today, a weakened Liverpool's team, so to speak, defensively, you still would have had to have gone to Man City, and if you'd have beat them, then you would have still been in pole position, and you'd have kept Liverpool another point off. And that's why I'm saying I think that Man City winning may have been the better result. The absolute result you did not want today was Liverpool win.
I definitely don't.
And at the moment, because Liverpool are now level on points with it, and yeah, your 6-0s, 5-0s, however many goals you wanted to score, is giving you the better goal difference now. But now it's all goal difference now, and it's going to matter. Yes. And Liverpool, if they get back up to full strength, they are going to smash some teams by some goals as well.
So we.
And you've got to as well.
So it's going to be an interesting title race this season.
I think it will be.
Unless Arsenal start to fall off.
Yeah.
Like they did last year. So it all depends, really, for me, on how Arsenal handle the pressure.
I could see City losing a game between now and the end of the season. Whereas I don't see Liverpool
because they should have drawn with Forest. They should have drawn with Forest.
But they didn't, because they're finding a way to win.
They should have beat City today.
Chelsea should have won the Carabao Cup, but they found a way to win. Southampton should have played better and been 4-0 up before Liverpool even had a shot on target in the FA Cup. But again, they found a way. And they'll just keep finding a way to do it. Liverpool's probably hardest game is when they go to Man United, because Man United may be up for it.
I preferred it last week when he wasn't here doing this, singing Liverpool's praises.
I know. Why did we invite him back?
It's hard to listen to, you know.
What? Because
they hate Liverpool.
I know. None of us want Liverpool to win the league, but at the moment, they're just finding that way.
They're just second.
Right now.
Yeah.
Just point out. Facts.
Yep.
Facts.
Good point. Facts.
You can't have fucking two teams at the top of the league. You can't have joint top, can you?
And right now, it's Arsenal.
Because I guarantee you, I bet you Liverpool aren't saying they're joint top with Arsenal, are they? Like Villa were. And Villa are now slipping away because they lost.
They got Tottenham convincingly battered.
And McGinn with his assault as well. We better...
McGinn's tackle on Udogie.
Wow.
Which, don't get me wrong, I understand seeing someone in a Tottenham shirt and wanting to kick him. Right, I get it. But doing it while you're in front of 40,000 people, you're not going to get away with it.
The way he kicked him, and Udogie
That wasn't a tackle.
got up so angry to go after him,
And then collapsed.
Because he was hurt. But that reaction kind of made that tackle even better. I think that actually sealed his red card face.
I think it did, yeah.
Because it was like, okay, he's got up. Maybe it wasn't so bad a foul, and then you're like, oh, he's collapsed. And then they show it again, you're like, oh, okay, that was a really bad tackle.
I mean, it wasn't even a tackle, was it? He just kicked him.
He kicked him. It looked like he wanted to hurt him, give him a dead leg, take him out the game.
100%. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah,
so you've seen, like, a doggy sort of just gets up and goes, "Rrr," and then he realises he's hurt his paw, and he has to lie down. Do you know what? That's the sound I was making when Zach was
It made it a little bit better. I think that reaction made that tackle that little bit better.
I still can't.
You know my opinion on it,
referring to it as a tackle.
I don't get how McGinn stayed on the pitch waiting for VAR to make a decision.
Honestly,
because surely he knows.
He should have just kicked him and started walking and just go like, I know I'm gone, so I'm just gonna go.
I don't even know why it even went to VAR for as long as it did again.
I don't know.
Again, why? How did it go that long? Because all we needed to do was see that one kick and go.
I mean, the only clear and obvious error I saw in the whole thing was the amount of time it took.
Yeah, but you know my opinion on him anyway. You know my opinion on him. He's a thug. He's not as good as people say. He's an absolute thug. And he's such a big bully. He's typical Roy Keane. If he's up against someone who can actually give it their own, he's a little bitch. But when it's against someone like a 16-year-old boy, he's happy to break the leg. Congratulations. He's an absolute thug.
20, and we're still waiting for him to come out of his shell.
But he is.
We say it every week.
He's like the modern-day Roy Keane. And I know everyone's like, oh, Roy Keane, hard man. But whenever you saw him against the likes of Julian Dix, Vinnie Jones, he was a little quiet little bitch getting slapped all over the park. He was happy while he was a fucking bully. When he was a bully, he was happy.
Harlan.
Mate, that was, you know what I mean? It's just, when he's the bully, he's a hard man. As soon as it comes across anybody who was remotely a tough guy, little bitch.
Ian Wright used to give it to him as well.
Yeah, but that's my point. And everyone's like, oh yeah, hard man Keane. Fuck off. I'd love to have seen him in the fucking 70s.
I'm sure he was only about 9.
No, but what I mean is, could you imagine him trying to be a hard man when fucking football actually had hard men playing football? So you look at, for example, Razor Ruddock, Vinnie Jones, they'd have fit in at the 70s. They'd fit in at the 80s. They were fine.
To be fair, though, I like the McGinns in the game at the moment because there's very few of them at the moment that actually want to get stuck in. I mean, that was excessive today.
You like having players who don't know how to play the ball, just like kicking the shit out of other people.
Yes,
sometimes. Yeah,
sometimes it's what a game needs.
No, I'd rather have a person who can do both, like Paul Scholes.
To be fair, the Arsenal-Brentford game, that was a bit of a tough game, that was. That kind of got a bit
needle on it.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I mean, Gabriel and Tony had a couple of games.
I don't mind that. Like I say, Paul Scholes, always late for a challenge, but he was a fantastic footballer as well. McGinn is just...
Paul Scholes' worst tackler ever for a midfielder. Ever.
You have watched the guy we're just talking about now, right? And you're saying that Paul Scholes is the worst tackler.
I mean, McGinn has made some good tackles in his time. Albeit today was assault.
Yeah,
it wasn't
my point.
A tackle.
There's a difference between a crunching challenge and just blatantly assaulting someone.
He ignored the ball completely today. He had no intention of kicking it.
And that's why I don't like him.
No intention.
At the end of the day, I don't mind people who are going to put a bit of your Vinnie Jones hard man.
If Gabriel's going to get sent off, right now, he's not my favourite player, but if he's gone for the ball and he's a bit late or he's mistimed it or this, that and the other, I'll still go, okay, he's not my favourite player, but at least he went for the ball. Now, if Gabriel did that, that's part of the reason I fucking hated Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
Is because that was his attitude. And he was the same with his red card.
Well, here you go. So that Arsenal-Brentford game and stuff. Now, the Brentford players, Arsenal could have had penalties because they were being dragged back when balls went through.
So we're on about...
And there's only one game where that's actually been given, and that's where Man City played Man United.
Yeah.
And he got actually pulled up for it.
Yeah.
That's one game this season where VAR have gone, you know what, we're actually going to give a penalty for a pullback.
For me, Trossard should have had a pen. In fact, we potentially should have had 2 penalties.
Yeah.
But Havertz, there's not...
No, we're not even saying that
There's
one.
not
We've
a game
said.
in the land that would consider Havertz anything other than a clear dive, which is
what I
it
don't
was.
get is that they want to stamp out diving out the game and that sort of stuff. So deceiving the referee.
Fuck 'em.
VAR's there. If it's blatantly obvious, like that one was, they should be able to go on and go.
Don't say book him. Don't say book him because you can't make that call. But what they can say is that's not a pen. He's simulated. Then the ref automatically knows need to book him. Simulation.
Yeah.
So the VAR can say we've checked for a penalty. It's definitely not because he's simulated. And then the ref knows in his own mind, I need to go and book him then. But if they're clear it's simulation.
Again,
no.
We go back to the blue cards and all that sort of stuff and all the bullshit that's going in for. Again, referees, they're getting surrounded in them circumstances because Arsenal were trying to get a penalty. There's 3 or 4 players round the referee.
Yeah, which I don't agree.
The Brentford players are all round the referee as well, especially the one player. Every time he thought it was a dive, he was there like up to the ref. Now that's a booking in itself.
Yellow.
But we could see that. Surely the ref seen it, but he bottled it for me.
Again,
the referee in that game, he bottled.
Again, eunuchs have more bollocks than referees. It's just that they... And it's like they say, we're trying to get rid of diving. No, you're not. If you were trying to get rid of diving, retrospective booking, watch the fucking footage and go, he's a diving prick. Like I say, we argued earlier over the penalty Liverpool got. Ederson barely touches him. And when he does make contact, Nunez is already throwing himself through the air as if someone just shot him in the fucking back with a 50 cal sniper rifle. And it's a dive. It's cheating. It's simulation. I don't give a fuck if I don't give a fuck.
Nowadays, that's a pen.
Because I get what you're saying.
As soft as
but this is my point. How are you going to get rid of diving as simulation when people can throw themselves to the ground, put an arm out, or a little bit of hip, or, I braced him with my tit, and then fall over after mid-flight and go, I got assaulted. You're never going to get rid of it because they don't want to. Because, again, refs have no bollocks, and they don't just kick these pricks in the face. If someone rolled on the floor after getting fucking diving for nothing on a Sunday morning, you kick the twat in the teeth.
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
And to be fair, Man United's penalties, they were penalties this week. Garnacho blatantly had his foot stood on as he was going through. There was no argument there.
The thing with the Liverpool one, though, is in today's game, that is a penalty. Because it's considered that there's... I think that's enough contact to bring Darwin Núñez and his haircut to the ground. No,
hang on.
He's like 6'3".
I'm going to word it like this. Is there enough contact to make him fly through the fucking air? No. Is the contact before he starts flying? No. Therefore, it's not a foul. Because you can't say I was run over by a car if you fall over, roll out the way of the car, and then the car drives past.
What people do.
You're a dick.
He's basically run through on goal, gone, I'm not going to win this ball, but this keeper's running out fast and he's going to hit me.
Yeah.
So he's kind of
thrown himself.
He's prepared himself for it. Unfortunately, like he says, in this day and age, the contact that is actually made is enough to warrant a penalty.
In this day and age. But then,
not in real life.
Look at what Salah did later on when he was trying to win a penalty. He bent his back like a little fucking hooker whore, bumped his hips into, was it Aki's back, and then fell to the floor.
The legs there. Not a penalty.
I don't understand how it wasn't done for diving.
Not a dive. I don't think it was a dive.
What would you call it?
Being fucking soft as fuck and going down too easily.
That's simulation, isn't it?
I suppose it is.
It's a fucking dive.
What a simulation.
It's hard to...
If you
have the contact first.
What contact?
If I walk up to you and poke your knee and then fall over, there's contact. Doesn't mean I didn't dive to the fucking
Mate,
ground.
I've got to be honest. If I walked up behind Tin Ribs in the street,
Yeah.
right, and genuinely went, "All right, mate, how you do?" and he fell on the floor, I'd kick him.
So would I.
Get the fuck up. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And that is more contact than Salah got today.
Unfortunately, yes, you're probably right.
It's more than Nunes got.
But I think in the terms of simulation, they can't prove how much contact that actually was.
You can, not enough.
Like with Havertz,
Not enough.
we know there was no contact at all. There was no touch.
Right.
He died.
So if 3 Sunday League footballers can work out, 3 ex-Sunday League footballers, can work out that that's not enough to bring a grown man to his knees, then how can 3 professional VAR assistants not work out that that's not enough to bring a grown man to his knees?
Yeah.
Are you telling me, right, let's go from one extreme to the next, because falling on the floor when someone's not touched you, for me, is extreme.
Yeah.
So let's take it to the other extreme. If these guys, Salah, Havertz and Nunez, were your front line at war, how would you feel? Because I'd be going home. I'd be going home. If them 3 were in front of me at war, I'd be going home.
You know what makes me laugh, though? And this is what genuinely makes me laugh. If they feel like someone's done something against them or said something, they're the first man to stand there giving it Johnny Big Bollocks. You know what I mean? They're always in each other.
Look at that Leeds game again. Was it Preston? Where their attacker come and attacked Meslier, and then Meslier sort of brushed him up. And he did catch his face, but he brushed him up. He looked like he'd just been smashed by Tyson at 22.
I'm sorry, when I play football, if somebody kicks me or a thingy like that, you know what the last thing goes through my mind?
I'm going to fall over.
I'm going to show that I'm hurt.
Oh,
I'm sorry, whenever I play football and I've been kicked and stuff like that, I don't go down to the ground. And I know even talking Friday and stuff like that, my leg was hurting on Friday. And I took me and I had blood streaming down my leg, and I went, oh, no wonder that my leg's hurting.
Right.
But I never went down or anything.
I'll be honest, right, and I think Tim Rivers was at this game, so he can potentially back me up. There's one, generally, I'm with you. If someone kicks me, I don't want them to know they've hurt me. Right, so I'll either turn around and go, what the fuck was that? What are you doing? Or occasionally, like me on a Friday, I've kicked someone straight away before they've even let the ball go. I've gone, fuck, sorry, mate.
Yeah.
So they know that I'd done it unintentionally.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm really sorry about that. And generally, they'll turn around and go, oh, don't worry about it. It happens. And I'm okay with that. Now, there was one game I remember playing, and I was clean through as well. And I was running, and this guy just kept nipping at the back of my ankles. I can't remember it was. No, we were at King Eddie's, but he was just nipping at the back of my ankle, and I ended up just launching the ball about 700 meters down the thing out of play, and I turned around and I just booted him at the knee.
I remember that.
Actually. I turned around and just volleyed him at the knee because he pissed me off that much. Because literally, I'm running down the wing and he's just clipping my ankle. I'm like, I had enough of it. Clipped me out, and I just levered the ball as hard as I could. Didn't go for goal enough. I just booted it out of play. And I turned around and just volleyed him straight through his knees. I'm like, fucking touch me again, mate. And I swear to God, I'm going to stamp you into the floor. That's the only time someone's actually kicked me, and I've let them know that it's bothered me.
Yeah, but you didn't go down and play hurt on the ground.
He did afterwards. But to be fair, he probably was in pain because I did volley him as hard as I possibly could. And that's what I'm saying. It's like even... But no, I certainly didn't throw myself to the floor.
I didn't get it. It's like... But any time I twisted my ankle from a tackle or something, I'm back on my feet knowing I'm really hurt here. But you don't want to show the fact that I'm sure. But they roll over 6 or 7 times.
I don't understand that.
And it's like,
I don't understand
why?
That. I'm sure as a keeper you've got similar but opposite stories as to what I've got. There's times where I've been through, someone has knocked me enough to hit me to the floor. As I'm falling to the floor, my head's going, you can still score here. You can still get a goal here. So the second I've hit the floor, I've tried to push myself back up to get back to the ball and score. And there was once I did it where the ref actually come up to me. Now, I'd been taken out and he properly took me out. But I rolled, jumped up and then scored. And the ref come over and went, I can give the goal or I can send that guy off and give you a pen. And I'm like, I don't take the pens, mate. I'm having a goal. Because if I have him sent off, I lose my goal because I'm not taking the penalty. And I'm certain Tin Ribs has got occasions where he's been hit or he's been knocked to the floor or whatever.
He doesn't get hit, he hits.
I'm on about when we were playing, he was getting kicked left,
Mate,
right,
I had my
and
ribs
centre.
broken because some fucker decided to drop
He was
kick me
getting
in the
booted
chest.
left, right, and centre. He was when we were playing at the Nesbit. But I'm sure there's times where you've gone down and like you've thought, I can still save this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Regardless of what's going on. So this is why I can't understand the thought process of a professional footballer that is getting tapped. And you know that there was one with Havertz. There was one with Havertz a few weeks ago, and I can't remember the exact game, which is unfortunate. But he got tapped and went down, and I thought, if you'd have just stayed on your feet, you could have scored that quite easily as well. It wasn't even a difficult chance. It was you against keeper. Just stay on your feet, and you give yourself another. What are you hitting the floor for? You don't take the fucking penalties, so it's not going to be your goal, even if it's given. And the fact that it wasn't given, you now look like more of a twat because you've just fallen over for nothing.
I love the players that stay on their feet or try, even when they've been blatantly fouled, and you see them try stay on their feet. And
I think there was a Leeds player I watched about 3 weeks ago on that thing where he got kicked to the point where he was like running with his hands on the floor trying to stay on his feet. And he did eventually hit the floor, but fuck me, he put a lot of effort
into Che Adams.
Was it Rutter?
Well, Che Adams,
he gets kicked around
scored the
he
other
put
week.
So much effort into trying to stay on his feet. And I thought, do you know what?
Che Adams, he got fouled in a game. I can't remember who it was against. He got fouled in a game. He got blatantly pulled back, and all he tried to do was stay, and he actually scored because he stayed on his feet.
It can happen. It's so frustrating when players just throw themselves.
And that's just what you want. It's like going back, late 90s or whatever it is, and, Vinnie Jones goes in, hard challenge, he goes and hurts. I think he was on Rob Jones of Liverpool, and when he gets up, he goes down hard, and, Vinnie Jones gets up and he's got a big gash in his thing because Rob Jones has gone down and he's giving him the elbow on the way down.
One of my favourite goals, actually going on the whole thing, was actually Jermaine Defoe. When he was playing for Tottenham, I'm trying to remember who it was against. He got absolutely cleaned out on the halfway line, and he just jumped straight up, ran 1-on-1, and then buried it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think Walcott's had one where he'd taken it past one, then he got taken out, jumped back up, took it past another, got taken out again, jumped back up and lifted it over the keeper and went in. So, this can be done. Professional players can play like they care the same way Sunday League players do. But they just don't want to do it.
But the academies are teaching them to go down.
I've also seen Sunday League players that have been tackled and they've got both hands in the air behind them, arched back, flying through the air, and you just think,
we used to play
pansy. When
I was at the minors, we used to play as team from Stafford, and they were pretty much every season, we were dueling it out, and they had this striker who was proper one of those pansy bitches. Every touch of him, he's thrown himself to the floor like he got fucking shot. And I remember to win the league, we needed 1 point, 1 fucking point, and we're 1-1 with this team. And in the 96th bloody, literally last kick of the game minute, he's 1-on-1 with me, and I fucked up, and I left my foot out, and he connected. I heard my shin pad connect with his leg. In my head, he's doing fucking somersaults. He's flying. He's throwing himself around like he's just got haymaker by Mike Tyson. Stupid twat stayed on his feet, tried to score and missed. Wow. All game, he'd been throwing himself to the floor. The whole game, He's been throwing himself to the floor, trying to get free kicks, penalties. Referee's having none of it. Stays on his feet. Fucking missed, didn't he?
Well, that's the risk you take to it. But personally, I'd always rather stay on my feet than go down. I'd say, because I wouldn't want to look like such a pansy.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we, even on a Friday, we just play as a kickabout. But if somebody dives, I'll walk past.
There's only one person who dies on a Friday, and that's Andre. Every time he gets touched, little legs go. It's fucking pathetic.
There's more than just him.
There's definitely more than just him. You need to get your ass up off the floor because you look like a twat.
I love the fact that people are starting to call him out, though.
It's got to be done, hasn't it? Got to be done. You don't want to.
No, what was funny, because you missed it, Miller took out Yove.
Oh,
as if he did.
I did miss that.
It was a rugby tackle. It was so. He basically just grabbed him, but it was so funny. I mean,
were they both outfield players at the time?
Yeah, they were both outfield players and stuff
How
like
do you-
that.
I can't even
Yo
fathom
just
how
had
you
the
get
ball
into
and Miller just kind of grabbed him and just basically pulled him down.
No.
I mean, Yo just laughed it off and stuff like that because
I wish I'd seen that.
it's kicking and stuff like that, and it was a proper like moment and stuff like that. And Miller just stood up after and went, "Yeah, I've took him out finally." I was like,
That's quite funny.
I wish I'd seen that.
Yeah, I'm with. That sounds
it
quite
was
funny.
it was a funny moment.
Right.
Brilliant. We need to,
Shall we get on with the prediction game?
Yeah.
The prediction?
Friction.
I'm wondering what a friction game is. I'm assuming it's something to do with Leeds, as it's got prick in the title. Right, so I'm guessing you want to know where we are in the table and the games that we're going on.
Yeah, I'm still sucking.
Right, table. Jay had, well, all three armchair pundits had a fairly decent week. Jay and Max got 1 point each game, so they finished on 3. That puts Jay on 23. Next, after Jay, is our very own Leeds fan, whose opinions are very dry at the minute. He's still keeping himself to himself somewhat, rather than giving us his real feelings. It's Tin Ribs, and he got 2 points this week, and he's on 26.
Yeah.
So you're doing well on 26 there, Tin. To be fair, you're not far behind us. You'll find out in 20 minutes when we get there. Next in line is Max, who has now overtaken Tin Ribs after just 5 weeks of doing it. He got 3 points. He's on 27. Then next in line, we have Monsieur Jim Jam, who got 2 points for the week. So you're on 31. Yeah. In second now is me. I'm now in second, which is slightly depressing. I got 3 points, so I'm on 36 total. Now, Daryl, you absolute scumbag. He got 5 points this week. He got 1 spot on and 2 correct. So he got 5 points, and he's now on 38, so he's clear by 2. That also puts us joint on how many we've got spot on as well now. So we're going to have to find another way of separating us.
That's if you get back level.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know because you're the one that's funny on. You're not allowed to be joint first, joint second, joint third, or whatever. So you'll have to work. To
be fair, it's only losers that matter in this. Really, I don't really care about winning. It's about not coming last.
That's true. So between the three of us now, our own personal punishment league table stands at Tin Ribs in third on 26, Jim Jam in second on 31. And me racing out ahead like a horse on 36. So, yeah, Tin is... he's far away. He's 5 points from safety and 10 points from the lead. So, keep fucking up, mate. I'm more than happy.
I think I am fucking it. I'm
now debating between Leeds shirt outside Ellen Road or a round of golf.
Leeds shirt outside Allen Road, that's not a punishment.
A United shirt outside Ellen Road.
Not happening.
Or maybe we could film a round of golf and we get to choose his outfit.
Problem is, it'd probably have to be normal because flamboyancy would suit him.
Yeah, but if we go for like a normal woman's outfit, he would have to play in a short skirt and a crop top.
No.
So it's always there as all I'm saying is it's there as a possibility.
At least his first shot will be from the red tees rather than his second shot.
He could play from the women's tees because he'd be dressed as a woman. So he could play from the women's tees. So I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. Okay. And I actually heard that on the Peter Crouch podcast because they're doing something similar with forfeits, and one of their forfeits is that
you still need your book anyway because we've got scores to predict.
If Peter Crouch loses, they're going to make him play golf in a woman's outfit. And I thought I really like the sound of that, more so if Tin Ribs loses.
You know what? As stupid as it sounds, I think I prefer that over playing a game in a Man United shirt.
That's also still an option.
No, it's not.
But we'd have to have it printed with I 8 Leeds, and he'd have to play in a Man United shirt that said I 8 Leeds on the back. And we would take pictures of it and put it on, not your face, but your back. Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
You know what we could do?
I hate Leeds.
What we could do is just let him go first every week and just match his score every single time. And then he can never win.
Oh, dear me.
It's a good job we do take it in turns of
right, so
guesses.
next week, we're struggling for a Southampton game because you're having a long break.
Yeah, Leicester is still in the FA Cup.
Which is, to be fair, probably what it's going to do you good. It
Yeah,
did
yeah.
Arsenal good. Arsenal haven't got a league game because Chelsea's still in the cup.
Yeah.
So we're going to go Arsenal-Porto. We're going to go Leeds-Millwall. And to replace your game, you've chosen...
No. You're fine, aren't you? But we've got the Mac game, haven't we?
Yes, what I mean is because we're not doing Southampton, you said we could do the Mac game instead.
Which is our...
So rather than Southampton, Jim Jam has chosen to...
Now our second team.
To go on our second team, which is now Macclesfield FC. And I quite like the fact that when they're playing, we're all sort of cheering for the same team for a change.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. So Macclesfield has brought us together.
And they're still in the FA Trophy. They have won their last game against Coville.
They did, yeah, they did. They won in the FA Cup the FA Trophy, quarter final against Colville, which was was a battle.
Yeah,
it was a battle, and they battled through, and they did really well. They're now in the semi-final. We'll find out tomorrow who they're up against and
it's
where
definitely
it is.
A National League team. It's definitely
it's
is
definitely
that 2 leagues above?
It's definitely a top 7 National League.
Is that 2 leagues above?
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's definitely a National League team. They're definitely top 7.
Yeah.
Because one's 3rd, one's 4th, and one's 7th.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of them. But 2 of them are close enough to go and watch. If it's at Mac, or if it's at Solihull Moors, then we can go to it. So you've decided to do the Macclesfield are away to Worksop. So you've decided to go that in. So what we'll do is Arsenal v Porto. Tin Ribs, what do you reckon, Arsenal v Porto? We'll let you go first.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
2-0.
2-0 to Arsenal? Or 2-0 to Porto? Because I'm honestly unsure, because we were shocking last time we played Porto.
No, I think you'll win.
Arsenal 2-0 for Tin Ribs.
You were absolutely horrendous against Porto, but I don't think that performance will happen again. Does that make sense? I think.
No. Well, we're at home as well, which makes a difference.
So I think 2-0.
2-0 Arsenal. So I'm assuming we're just going 2-0 Arsenal.
You know, in my head, I had 2-0 in my head.
Did you actually?
I did actually.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to go 3-0 instead.
Well, you can stick to your
No, I'm going to go 3-0.
I didn't do that on purpose at all.
But no, I did have 2-0 in my head, really.
I mean, if I'm honest, so did I.
Did you?
I genuinely, I think I'm going to stick with 2-0 because that's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I am going to stick with 2-0. And if it is 3-0 now, I'm going to be a little bit upset for not having enough faith in my team. So we're going to go Worksop and Macclesfield. I genuinely think Mac are on the up. We've just signed Tom Clare back, who was with us a couple of years ago and has won a couple of games for Mac in the past, on his own. He's taken games by the scruff of the neck and really gone for it. I know some of the fans were a little bit upset about the whole Love Island thing and missing half the season and all that, but very good player. He's a striker that's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". Very, very good in the air. And honestly, I think he can only help us on free kicks, corners, balls into. I just think he's a very, very good player. And honestly, I can see us winning that probably 3-1. I can see Mac winning that 3-1. So I'm going to go Mac 3, Worksop 1.
I'm going 3-0.
You're going 3-0 to Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah, just checking.
So obviously Mac are on a winning streak. Is it 6 in a row?
Yep.
Yeah. Worksop have had a bad run, but they won their last game, I think, 1-0. You lost to them 2-1 earlier in the season.
We did.
I think it's going to be a reverse 2-1 to Mac.
2-1, so all 3 of us going with Macclesfield on that one. So let's hope that they do us proud and at least get us a point each. That would be nice. Right.
Shall I just say that I'm going 3-0? No surprise.
Leeds Millwall. Right, Leeds Millwall. I think bonus points tell us how many Leeds fans are going to end up in hospital.
Oh, you mean after the one fell off the roof, off the upper stand at Chelsea?
We all know Millwall are fucking animals. So
No, did you actually hear that the lad who fell off was apparently there was a lot of things. I don't know. I've not had this confirmed. I've not seen any confirmation. But apparently, the lad who fell from the stands was actually banned from Leeds games because he's the one that ran on and punched Kirkland.
Oh, right.
wow.
So I don't wish him a speedy recovery at all.
Right. So allegedly, the guy that's hurt himself tried to hurt somebody else a little while ago.
I mean, it's not. I've seen a lot of reports saying that, but I've not seen anything official saying it's the same person.
Okay. So Leeds Millwall, are you actually going 3-0?
Yes, I am going 3-0.
Hey, there's no point in asking him anymore. Is it Leeds 3, opposition 0, repeat?
2-0.
2-0 Millwall. Right, so you think Leeds... I'm going to go 3-1 because I think you've got a lot of goals in you. But I just think Millwall are going to push up and just grab one somewhere along the line.
Interesting stat on that. We've only conceded 1 goal this year from open play.
Then I now think it's going to be a penalty.
I'd probably say a corner, to be fair, with Millwall.
Millwall, I'm going to put pen in brackets just to see whether or not we actually get a penalty. I say we, I'm not a Millwall fan, I don't give a shit. But yeah, because I've said that Millwall are going to get a penalty, I'm going to put it there in brackets. So yeah, Leeds 3, Millwall 1. I think Arsenal, Mac and Leeds are all going to win this week, and I'm going to have a very happy week. Because obviously it's nice when Leeds and Southampton, well, I do follow you guys on Fotmol if I can't watch it. And
I have them all on. Arsenal, Leeds, Southampton.
I do like to see you guys winning
Fotmol
as well, to be honest. I mean, I won't next year when you're playing Arsenal, obviously. I'll be against you all the way, but...
Won't be us.
We say that, but you two might be going up automatically, yeah.
Hopefully.
But I'd quite happily put a 5 on you two being the 2 automatic promotions.
I don't think we're ready.
I didn't say you were ready. Do you know we weren't ready? Sheffield United, they weren't fucking ready. It didn't stop them going up though, did it?
No.
Jesus Christ, how many have they conceded this season? They'd have been better off playing rugby. They'd have conceded less points.
Who knows?
Shocking.
We ain't got points on the board. It's games in hand.
Yeah, you don't like games in hand, do you?
No, we didn't win them last time. We lost them.
Yeah, you're not a fan of games in hand.
No.
But yeah, be an interesting week. Like I say, you guys having a break, I think it'll do you good. I really do. I'd like to think that you're going to go off somewhere, like Arsenal did when we went to Dubai.
I hope they do. They put on a really nice run of form to beat Ipswich, beat Leicester, and then it all goes to shit at Ellen Road.
I hope the game doesn't matter when we get to Ellen Road.
I hope you two are both already promoted when it gets to Ellen Road.
Yeah, but if what I just said happens and we carry on the way we are, we'll have won the league by that point.
Yeah, and they'll be second. So, yeah, you never know. You never know. It might be that way.
The only way we'll be second if we win every single game.
I disagree because I don't think Leicester and Ipswich are going to keep up any form of...
Yeah, but they've got to lose few games for us to do it. It's not in our hands. So
I can see that happening easily. I don't even think you've got to win every game in order for that to be the case.
I think we do.
No, I don't. I disagree.
Sorry, me being me, I've just found a really funny quote. So, as you might be aware, a certain striker got called up for the Chile squad.
It's Sheffield United.
Yeah. Right. He's been dropped from the Chile squad.
Sure.
Because this is the Chile manager, Ricardo Garcia, has said he was called up to the Copa America 2 years ago. He has had enough time to learn how to speak Spanish.
He can't speak the language of the team that he's been called up for.
Yeah.
Although, does anyone know if Matty Cash can speak Polish yet?
Don't know, but I do think that is hilarious.
But we do know that, I know he's not playing for German national team, but I know that Harry Kane, I think he speaks better German than he does English.
But yeah, when your name's Ben Britton Diaz, it's kind of amusing that you just know he doesn't speak Spanish. But then again, when's Harry Kane going to learn English?
Well, he's not, because he's off learning German now, so we've got no chance of him learning English. He knows enough English to get by, doesn't he? He knows enough to be our leading goal scorer ever.
I know, yeah.
Albeit it's against Panama and who have you got? Because Gareth Southgate doesn't allow Gareth Southgate doesn't allow us enough attacking in order for him to score against the good teams.
Yeah.
Frustrating. We should be winning the next tournament, though, for me, in my opinion.
Greatest striker that never win anything.
He's going to win a cannon. We've been through this.
Yeah.
I can't wait till he gets presented that cannon with a cheesy grin on his saliva-filled face. It's going to be brilliant.
Mocked up in an Arsenal shirt.
You know it's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah.
Or it's like that someone's going to mock it up so the cannon that he's got is the exact one that's outside the Emirates, and he'll be lifting it all going, all right, this is great. It's going to be something like that, isn't it? Right, so I think what we'll do there, boys, is we will wrap it up and we will reconvene next week and basically keep this shit show going.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening. Anyone that's listened, if you want to get involved, feel free to email us, sundayleaguepundits@outlook.com. We will respond to all emails, and if you want to get involved with anything that we're doing, feel free. We absolutely love it. We shall see you next week.